pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks. One foul in this quarter, and it's Albuquerque. Here's Maldonado for three.
Corner. Gatto drive baseline. This time he will take it to the rack.
He's so confident when he takes it to the basket.
On the board for her, 34-54. Behind the back dribble for Sosi, and Sosi buries the ball. Allison Sosi.
There's the corn.
Still nothing. It's perimeter oriented, pass around.
The corn fires a three and gets another one. Great.
The basket will count for Junior Hogs, and he's fouled. Fouls on Juarez.
Great finish by Moore right there.
With it. Kicks it over to Jennings for a three. Oh, Santana! Calls bank off the window.
Has been stuck on 14 the last couple possessions. There's Chloe Brown, a right corner three. It's short. Randall, the offensive rebound. Counted and a foul for Nadia Randall.
Thought about it, puts it on the court, pulls up, gives it to Brown. What is this? Oh, my goodness.
Sanchez has the third one, so he's got two of those. Quick steal, and there's the basket to close out the quarter as Brandon Lopez with a big steal.
Question a little bit, and you got me thinking about it. You know, look at here.
Tipped away by Owino. Big smooth, big jam, big time finish.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better, better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Rosendo Najar here, President of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, Warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, refractive lens exchange. the latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
If you're drunk,
Blasted.
intoxicated,
Rip. Plaster.
destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Meyer here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
You know, you think of what's some crazy stuff that could go down. Belichick and Saban are going to walk away within, or leave their respective dynasties within 18 hours of each other. Oh, by the way, Pete Carroll's going to be in there too and just completely get lost in this whole mess. It's been bonkers, man.
Do you know how big the story really is?
Which story?
The Belichick deal. So to put it in perspective,
no.
American sports aren't really reported on outside of America. You get a little in North America, a little in Europe.
No.
But I started checking outlets like in India, Singapore, Korea, Australia. It's on every continent.
No.
They are talking about this. They don't talk a lot about American football.
But the NFL's done a good job of playing games overseas and doing that. But that's good perspective. Let me ask you this, and I know where you're going to go, and I think it's going to be easy for you. I don't think this is as easy as it is to you just because of your perspective. Bigger story: Belichick leaving or Saban leaving?
I think we were all preparing ourselves for Belichick,
Yeah.
so we built up that storyline. The Saban was straight. You're sitting fastball, and the dude just threw a changeup.
I think that's right.
And your bat ends up down the third baseline.
No. Yeah, I think we all expected Belichick to leave. So but it doesn't make it less of a story. Just because we expected, we knew it was coming, right? The Saban thing, dude, he's the best coach in college football since Bear Bryant, right?
Yes, he has. Seven national
I mean,
championships.
who else are we putting in this conversation? Tom Osborne? There's not many of that ilk. And to do it in this generation, in this era, I know it's easy to say NFL because the NFL is king and you're more of an NFL guy than you are a college guy. But I'm not sure I think it's a slam dunk that one's a bigger story than the other. These are two monumental stories.
If you're sitting in the South somewhere, it's probably safe.
It's right. Regionally, it's inarguable. No, if you live in SEC country, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, right? Yeah, it's inarguable. If you live in Boston, it's inarguable. Connecticut, Rhode Island, Maine. Yeah. But I mean, for us sitting out here.
It is, and it's just how small everything is in the grand scheme of things. Pete Carroll was the last coach in New England before Bill Belichick took over. And then you look back and you're like, well, Bill Belichick, Nick Saban spent 4 years together in the NFL. Nick Saban was his defensive coordinator in Cleveland, and just how all these things happen span of like 24 hours.
On the way in today, Mike Loxley, the former Lobo coach, was on with Maggie and Perloff, the show before us on CBS Sports Radio. And he won a national championship as the offensive coordinator for Nick Saban at Alabama, was talking about coaching for Nick Saban and what it was like and how it ties into right here, right? Yeah, it's that close. Holman Wiggins, former Lobo, has been the wide receivers coach for Nick Saban for a long time. Holman applied. I know he applied for the job here at UNM when it just opened. Yeah, no, you're 1 degree separated in that coaching.
And with Nick Saban, the track record he had, first round picks, amount of players that went to the NFL, and over the last 10 to 15 years, it's phenomenal. What he was able to do with coaches was crazy.
That's right.
Like, you could have toxic coaches, whether it's something on or off the field, they lose their jobs, they're not getting interviewed. and then you go to coaching rehab in Tuscaloosa, Alabama with Nick Saban, and you come out clean as a whistle, realize my life's better on and off the field, and most of these guys got another chance. Look at Sarkisian at Texas.
Well, I mean, look
what they just did.
Look when
Mike Loxley going back to Maryland.
100%. Lane Kiffin.
Dude,
when Lane
was getting fired everywhere.
Got fired on the tarmac at USC, went there and rehabilitated his career, got the job at FAU, and now, I mean, his name was up for the job. It is up for the job, right? To your point, 100%. Mike Loxley. Mike Loxley, when he left UNM, it didn't work, and he was at Alabama for a minute, right, for a while as a coordinator, and then wins the national championship, and now he's making $4.5 million as a head coach, and he's winning bowl games at Maryland. Steve Sarkisian had the alcohol issue, lost his job at Washington, right? Goes there, rehabilitates himself. Look at the NFL guys. I mean, Kirby Smart. I'm sorry, Brian Dable. Kirby Smart's on his tree. Jim McElwain. Mario Cristobal. Billy Napier. Charles Huff. Butch Jones is Arkansas State. Ron Cooper. Dan Lanning at Oregon. Yeah, man. The coaching tree's crazy. He said yesterday that this thing went down to the wire, that he was working on hiring coaches, that he was on a call, that he called a 4:00 meeting. He said he was on the phone with Mr. Terry 5 minutes before, didn't know what to do. Which speech am I going to give? Do I have another year in me? And he said it came down to he couldn't commit. Guys were saying, are you going to be here for X number of years? And when I couldn't look a young man in the eye and be 100% honest, I was going to be here that many years. He said, I that's when I knew. He said, I just couldn't commit to these young men long term. There's just a sincerity to Saban. Like when he says stuff like that, I believe it. Did you watch the Reese Davis interview that he did? Did you see a bunch of that?
I did not.
You see it?
I heard.
It's pretty telling, right? Mm-hmm. What did you think coming out of what he had to say?
I think this is one of those interviews, and I know we just discussed how do we feel about Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft, where we don't have to read between the lines. We don't have to assume this or that and go, oh, did he hate this? Did he hate that? No, he was just like, I can't commit maybe 3 or 4 years. Could I do this year to year now? Yeah, but that's not what people want to hear from me. And pretty much Nick Saban, he said, if I'm going to ask people to give me 110% and I'm not going to give them 110%, I'm paraphrasing just kind of his overall comments, then I'm going to step away. And like, I got it.
He said last season, quote, last season was difficult for me not from a health standpoint, not necessarily having anything major wrong, but just being able to sustain and do things the way I want to do them, the way I've always done them. It just got a little harder. So you have to decide, okay, this is sort of inevitable when you get to my age. End quote. And he said it was just unfair to keep saying that he was going to be there for 4 or 5 more years. He said, quote, which I would have been happy to try to do. I just didn't feel like I could do that and didn't want to get into a year-to-year deal. That doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help you continue to build and be at the standard that I want to be at with this program and where it should be. End quote. I got mad respect for that. It sounds like he still wanted to go for another year, maybe another 2. And that's what makes me still not 100% convinced. As he recharge a year and at 73, go to the NFL for a couple years. Because there's going to be a job open 365 days from now in the NFL. It's going to be interesting if someone's going to call Nick Saban.
And
his name will come up for sure.
Yeah, and at that point, I'm not worried about 4 or 5 year commitment.
No.
It doesn't bother me.
It goes back to what Jerry Palm said yesterday from CBS on our show. You know, is he a temporary or is he a bridge? Everybody's a bridge coach. Everybody is. If Kalen DeBoer leaves and takes the Alabama job, he was at Washington for 2 years.
Bridge.
Now, Washington fans are going to be going, wait a minute, dude. Like, you just got here, and now you're going to Alabama, and it's going to be, well, it's Alabama. Right? It's going to be the Alford thing, right? Got you to a national championship. How do you feel, Washington fan? Feel better off than you were before you got there? Right?
So Dan Lanning made it very clear on social media he was not going anywhere.
Correct.
Yesterday.
That's right.
Kalen DeBoer has been radio silent. He actually canceled a radio appearance this morning.
I know.
In Seattle. How do you feel about Oregon and Washington versus Alabama? Like the status of those jobs versus
Alabama. Alabama's a different status level. What's on the level of Alabama in college football? Is there? I mean, Alabama is above. I mean, doesn't it feel like maybe Georgia? But is there another job that's on that level? Status-wise?
Well, is that job still that job, or was it because of Nick Saban?
Well, it's because of history, because of support, because of Nick Saban, because of Bear Bryant, because of expectation.
Because they had Bear Bryant, and they were not winning anything with what?
Well, for 2.5 decades,
Mike Shula or something.
Yeah, it was Mike Shula and Dennis Franchione, and Ray Perkins was there, and they didn't win a lot. Yeah, no, this is a tough job. This reminds me of Alfred. You don't mess with Happy. If you're happy at Washington right now, man.
Seattle,
I'm
Big
just
Ten
telling
money,
you, man. It's Big Ten money. The pressure of that job. I get it. It's Alabama. You better win. Like
Tuscaloosa versus Seattle.
And by the way, 9-3 ain't winning. You better win.
You know, I just pulled up some stuff on Saban that is really blowing my mind. JJ brought up how many draft picks? 123 in 16 years.
First round picks or just overall?
Overall.
Yeah.
44 were first rounds.
That's insane.
So here's the math on that. 7.6, little over 7.6 draft picks per year.
Yeah.
2.75 of them first rounders.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
His players have made over $2 billion in the league.
Yeah, he's done all right by his guys. All right, Red Zone, we get back. We got to get in the NFL. We're going to do NFL Red Zone. It is a playoff edition. DC's put together coaching stuff, Jordan Love, CJ Stroud stuff, Lions, Rams stuff. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. An AM 610 Sports Animal, your home for playoff football and the Super Bowl in the National Football League.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
4 below with a wind chill of 26 below. Not a chance, like zero chance, right?
They've never won a game.
I heard
40.
that stat yesterday.
Wow, I've not. That is.
I'll find it
kind
for
of
you.
mind blowing.
All right, let's get
Soft.
Well, soft too, very soft. Yes. JJ's right.
Let's get into the red zone.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy?
I'm saying you're a football player. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this game.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Let's go, baby!
It's first and goal.
I've got to get my footing back because
Yeah.
you blew my mind on that.
Yeah.
I mean, playing against the Bills and Patriots and Jets never once over. Wow.
Well, so the coldest game they've ever played was 10 degrees. And that was in Kansas City, December 21st, 2008, 10 degrees at kickoff. Well, then it's wrong because Miami defeated Kansas City 38-31. So that was the coldest win ever, was 10 degrees. So that was wrong. So I'm glad I fact-checked it. I heard it yesterday. I didn't know. And this says they won it when it was 10 degrees. So, all right, never mind.
Okay.
Welcome back to reality.
Back to reality.
Yeah.
Okay. With all the coaching moves this week, there's a lot of smoke around a few of the wild card teams playing this weekend. So who needs a win the most? Sean McDermott, Mike McCarthy, or Nick Sirianni?
McCarthy. Just because, I mean, Sirianni might need it just as bad, but McCarthy does because this is the year, and they've got home field advantage for their first 2 games if they can get through them, because this is a Super Bowl mindset of a team, because Bill Belichick's swirling out there, Mike Vrabel's swirling out there. McCarthy needs it the most.
It is Mike McCarthy, but barely over Nick Sirianni, because there's a track record of Philadelphia moving on. And as much as people like to clown Jerry Jones, he's consistent, and he's given coaches opportunities. But it is BB. As you've said, we've all said, that's the difference maker that Bill Belichick is hanging out there, and that puts so much more pressure on these guys.
Second and goal.
Ready, down, put.
Well, speaking of Bill Belichick, when we return on Tuesday, Bill Belichick will be blank.
Close to making his final decision. I don't think Bill Belichick will be hired just yet. I think we're going to start to see stuff trickle down on that day, but I don't think by Tuesday morning we're going to have an official answer yet on Bill Belichick.
Rumored for every job opening that there is still open. He won't be hired by someone yet. But while Atlanta and Washington will still be in play, dude, if Dallas loses and or Philly loses and or pick your team who will lose, because 6 teams will lose this weekend because there's going to be 6 games, and so that means 6 teams will lose. He will be rumored for just about every job that's open. And then some.
Third and goal.
So we've seen Jordan Love and CJ Stroud taking the league by storm with their performances as first-year starting quarterbacks. So I'm going to ask you guys, who has a better chance of playing next weekend? Stroud at home versus the Browns this weekend, or Love on the road versus Dallas?
Stroud. And I don't think either one of them will. I think the Packers are going to get beat by Dallas, and I think the Browns go in and beat the Texans. But I think it's CJ Stroud because they're playing at home. I do think the Cowboys are going to win this game, and I think they're going to win it relatively handily. It's just the pattern that they've had against teams that aren't really, really, really good, and I think that's what the Packers are. If there's a team that has a chance of those two, I think it's the Texans, although I don't think either one. But if you ask me which one's got a better chance, it's CJ.
So as much as I love the Cleveland Browns story, I've been on them as the team, the 5%ers, the teams with a 5% chance to go on a run. And I think all of us gravitate towards Cleveland because of what they do defensively, because of the way Joe Flacco is playing. But I would still, given Green Bay at Dallas or Houston hosting Cleveland, take my chances with CJ Stroud at home in that matchup. And I do think that Jordan Love and that Packers offense is going to send a shock to the Dallas Cowboys, but I trust Dallas at home in this matchup, and I'm giving CJ Stroud the opportunity between those two.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Veer me.
Well, in 48 games with the Lions, Jared Goff has thrown for 12,258 yards, 78 touchdowns, and 27 interceptions. He's completed 66.5% of his passes for an average of 7.3 yards per attempt. In 41 games with the Rams, Matthew Stafford has thrown for 10,938 yards, 75 touchdowns, and 36 interceptions. He has completed 65.7% of his passes for an average of 7.7 yards per attempt. Stafford missed about half the 22 season due to an injury, but the two quarterbacks have both won 24 regular season games with their new teams. So Lions or Rams, who won that trade, and will the outcome of this weekend's game change that answer?
No, it won't. The Los Angeles Rams won the trade. They won a Super Bowl. Right. It's an A+ for the Los Angeles Rams. But you know what it is?
It's an A for the Lions.
I'm going to B for the Lions.
I'm going to A. How could it have been better at this
like, this is one of those trades where there's not a loser. Everyone assumed it was going to be Jared Goff, and they were going to stink and draft a new quarterback. And all of a sudden, Jared Goff has the Lions hosting a home playoff game. Like, it worked out for both teams.
Rams won the trade because they won a Super Bowl. I mean, it's really that simple. That's why they made the trade, right? They saw their window open. They felt the only thing that they needed to do to win a Super Bowl was upgrade at quarterback. They made the trade. They won a Super Bowl. Ding, 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 ding. So they won the trade because they won the biggest prize that there is to win in the game. But the Lions didn't lose the trade. There doesn't have to be a loser. I know there has to be a winner and a loser in every game that we play this weekend, but in every trade, there doesn't have to be a loser. And JJ's 100% right. Look, Goff was a throw-in. Here's our first-round pick. Here's fine. Take.
We don't need him.
Take him, and we'll give you a first because you've got to eat his big giant salary. And dude turned into a top 10 quarterback in the league. And they've turned into they were a bad call away from being a number 2 seed in the NFC playoffs. And so they both did well. If who won the trade? The Rams won the Super Bowl. I mean, you see it another way? I get the individual numbers. I see the numbers, and I see the individual numbers are slanted towards Goff. But do you see it another way?
I guess when I think about this, if I'm making an argument for Goff, what I'm thinking is the Lions got a throw-in that happened to end up being one of the top 10 quarterbacks.
Yep.
So then you get draft picks, and if he is their quarterback, say, for 8 years, and maybe Stafford gets 2 more, I say in that time you could look at it like the Lions really won that one.
Okay. If they win a Super Bowl, I'll listen to that.
And it would take a Super Bowl because you're absolutely right. The Rams got what they were looking for, and so that right now I'd say you're obviously right with that. But what if the Lions got 3 Super Bowls? You know.
Well, yeah, but I mean, as we sit here right now,
Detroit Lions win 3 Super Bowls.
Dude,
it's due diligence. We got it.
If they win one, they win the trade. One, that franchise. If look, and it's not like the Rams have a great history of stacking Lombardis. They don't. But if that franchise wins a Super Bowl with that quarterback out of that, and what did the draft pick? Did it turn into Jamar Gibbs? I don't even know who the first round pick turned into. But if that franchise wins a Super Bowl, I mean, come on now. Lions got Goff, a 2021 third-round pick, first-round picks in 2022 and 2023. So it was 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and Jared Goff for Matthew Stafford. Dude, that is a bunch. So was it Jamar Gibbs, the Rams pick in last year's draft? I don't even know who it was in the.
So those picks for the Lions turned into Jameson Williams last year, Josh Pascal, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Sam Laporta.
Say that again.
Wow.
Jamison, or the receiver who
First round receiver last year.
has been suspended half his career. Okay, go ahead.
A couple players that don't know them offhand: Jahmyr Gibbs and Sam Laporta.
Dude. But they didn't win the Super Bowl yet. Yeah, Sam Laporta is one of the best young tight ends in the league.
That's
no, it's terrific.
That's A+ work then. Reviewing, they came back to me and like, teacher, I don't think this is the right grade, and I'm like, all right, I you know what, you're right. I'll give you an A for that one, Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to tell you, they both did pretty damn well. Stafford helped the Lions get Goff, Williams, Gibbs, Laporta, Melifonwu, Pascal, and Martin. Not bad. Everybody wins. Everybody won. All right, when we come back, the Lobos are sold out this weekend, and so you need to know what to wear. There was some amazing college basketball, both on the amazing and on the amazing last night. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal. You're home for Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night football, the playoffs, and the Super Bowl. It's NFL. It's here on the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores.
Progressive Insurance is making it easy to save.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife, and our daughter, they didn't make it.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet.
Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom. Boom!
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Murcia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. You know, I know you were skeptical about the hoe when you started. I know you're like, what the hell is this? These idiots, what do they do? And now it's good to see you taking a breath, getting in. Hey, what time do you guys want a hoe? Getting in. It's good to see you appreciating a good hoe.
It's therapeutic. There is something to that. Like the end of the week,
don't you think?
You just let
it go and hoe.
It's funny though. I was thinking about this earlier when I asked you guys, hey, what time do you guys want to hoe? We all knew exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah.
If I said that to anyone else in my
right.
life, they would look at me like a crazy person.
Ask your wife, hey, or let her know, hey, I hoed it at 7:45 this morning.
Well, she listens. She would know.
Okay. All right. Your wife seems pretty chill.
Yeah, she'd probably laugh.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad. But you're like, you know, I know when you started, like, what are these idiots? Fine.
I'm getting
You're like, I'm going to get this out of them. I'm going to put an end to this. And you realize, you know what? It's harmless.
Yes.
And every show that's been around, or everything that's, it's not even a show. Anything you've done for a while, it's got its little things, right? That's uniquely it. And I don't know if it's good or bad or stupid, but I do know, like, I've got buddies who used to, now a couple of them, their kids are older, but they used to hoe in the car. Hey, all right, my kid's in my car. Can we hoe? When are you going to hoe? And they would hoe on Friday on the way to school in the car. They'd all hoe together.
That's
right?
awesome. I love that.
That's just one of those stupid little things.
But
It's
it's uniquely yours, and I dig that. I really do.
So you know the origin of that?
Yeah,
Yeah, Joe Gonzalez, who was the original member of this show, played that song. He found the song, right? And we just, you know, the words give me a hoe if you got your funky bus fare, and we all hoe, and so it's Friday. Kind of cool.
Yes.
Look at JJ, man. JJ's moving into his new backpack. It's like he's moving into his new house.
It feels like Christmas morning.
I was gonna say, I saw that backpack. I was a little jealous, man. That's very nice.
I might be able to find one somewhere. So JJ had how was that backpack?
Oh man, I think I was still using this back. Not quite high school. That'd be. I don't think this thing would be around. So 8 years.
You got duct tape holding that
duct tape
backpack.
on the backpack.
And JJ travels. He's on the plane. He's got his computer, everything. And so I said, all right, by the end of the week, I'm getting you a new backpack.
Appreciate that. Thanks.
So he's moving in. He's got, look at this pocket here. Look at this one here. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. He's on his way. out of here. He's got a flight going to see Lobo women's basketball over on
94.5 FM.
I gotta write that
the
down.
Pit.
All right.
They'll be tomorrow and next Saturday. Those will be the Lobo games due to playoff football.
The Lobo women's basketball coming off the win over Utah State, and they'll be at Colorado State tomorrow. All right, did you watch any hoops last night?
Watched a lot of basketball.
All right, Nick Cronin got blued out. UCLA got beat 90-44. I mean, I never thought I'd see a Nick Cronin team get beat 90-44. Embarrassed.
No.
They're horrible. They.
It's hard to win in Utah.
Oh, whatever, man.
But
it's
shouldn't be that hard.
They're horrible. I never thought I'd see this. And it's going to be interesting to see.
Do you have your resume together?
Seriously, I need a new job. I mean, it's a good thing I got this still. I watched 2 unbelievable games last night. You're going to go, Jeff, whatever. No, FAU, the team that went to the Final Four, ranked Florida Atlantic. They were at Tulane. And this is one of those where I don't care. And we talked about it with Jerry Palm yesterday. I don't care what league you're in. It is hard to win on the road in the league. Mm-hmm. Lobos have found that out. They played at Tulane. Tulane played them so well. Tulane scored with 20-something seconds to go. FAU got the ball, went down. Tulane fouled the dude shooting a 3-point shot with 0.4 of a second left, down by 1. Kid hit the first, missed the second, and then hit the third. I mean, that's excruciating. You thought you had and it wasn't like one of those blatant ones. I think it was right. That one, and then for the first time since 2011, Santa Clara beat Gonzaga. At Gonzaga with Steve Nash there the night they retired his number, beat him 77-76. You watch either one of those?
Yes, multi-view, baby.
Terrific college hoops last night. Sell out in the Pit tomorrow. Kenny Thomas is going to be here coming up at 9 o'clock. We'll kick it with Kenny. We'll talk to him about the Aztecs coming to town. You wearing red or white? I guess layered, dude. Wear like a red shirt under a white pullover, and then you got it figured out, right? Does that work for you?
Yeah,
just so if you don't know, if you can't figure it out, it's either red or white.
You could do the Bob Knight stripes.
You can do that too if you want. I mean, you really can do whatever the hell you want. What they're requesting is, hey, what are you wearing?
Khakis.
I mean, I'm Jake from State Farm. It's the opening drive. If you're listening to the NFL playoffs of the Super Bowl, you're listening to here on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks. Would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Oh, got a little news for you this morning as you're getting started on a Friday. The news isn't it's cold. You already knew that. Elevator. How you doing? It's Friday. Yeah, no, I know. It's cold out. Yeah, no, I know that. How you doing? You good? All right, let me get to the 5th floor. Come on, get out. All right, see you. Have a great day. Gerard Mayo is the new head coach of the New England Patriots, succeeding Bill Belichick. They moved swiftly. They parted ways officially yesterday. I mean, obviously, Bob Kraft knew what was going on, and this isn't going to be a long process. There's no Rooney Rule because, and I'll tell you why. Gerard Mayo was the coach in waiting, and he is the new head coach of the New England Patriots. Opening drive, Jeff Zimbieta and D.C. JJ has left the building on his way to the aeropuerto para el avión a la Colorado. ¿Es todo en español nomás? We shouldn't do the show in Spanish? No.
Probably not today.
Yeah,
I'm still working on the Rosetta Stone.
Dude, so. JJ and I, when we used to work at that other station down in the closet, I used to do an afternoon show back in the day. And JJ was like, I don't know, 4. He's a little older than that. Like that kid that's been hanging out here. He's kind of like that guy. But the reason that show went away is because they sold it and it turned into an AM Spanish music station. Because Lord knows we didn't have enough AM Spanish music stations in this town. So that's why I said I better start learning my Spanish better. See?
Okay.
Yeah, that was my whole point. All right, here's why they didn't have to hit the Rooney Rule, DC. And you talked to me about this. But they were able to forego the standard NFL hiring process where the Patriots immediately hired Gerard Mayo because they had established a succession plan in the contract that he had signed last offseason. There was an extension last season, and it was written, I guess, as he is the coach in waiting. Baltimore did this with their GM position back in, I think it was Eric DeCosta succeeded Ozzie Newsome in 2019. So that's why they didn't have to go through, and Gerard Mayo is an African-American coach. He is now the youngest coach in the National Football League, younger than Sean McVay. But that's why this was able to happen so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, having him as the coach in waiting, that was first used on Belichick when he went to the Jets. Because originally he was supposed to be GM
24 years ago?
Yeah, originally he was going to be GM and coach.
Yeah.
And then they moved around some language, and then Parcells slid in at GM, and, they were able to hire both guys because of the language, but then Belichick wasn't happy with the GM situation, and they moved on. But, yeah, it's a very interesting way to do it. But, I mean, obviously this is a minority candidate, so I don't feel like they just went totally around the rules. I think they knew their guy, and, they did it the right way. Yep. I think it's probably a good hire, too. It seems like everyone out there is very happy about it.
Yeah, I thought they were going to go Vrabel, but if it was going to be, to me, one of these two.
I'm convinced Vrabel's going to Washington.
So everybody loves the Washington situation, and everybody loves it because there's a new ownership group. There's a history of being good there. Is that a good team? I look around and look, Sam Howell was fine, I guess. Tell me what excites you about taking over that situation. And other than, and I know this is a big piece, so I don't want to diminish the weight of having strong ownership and working for a solid organization. But I don't even know how solid it is because it's brand new. So we're going on reputation, but reputation in other businesses, not in football. Why is that in Atlanta? Atlanta's so attractive. All these places where you have borderline mess at quarterback, right? That's the one where I'm struggling a little bit. But I mean, there could be worse. There's only 32 of these jobs. Tom Brady spoke yesterday on Bill Belichick. Quote, "I'm incredibly grateful to have played for the best coach in the history of the NFL. He was a great leader for the organization and for all the players who played for him. We accomplished some amazing things over a long period of time, many of which will be hard to replicate. He worked every day to help us achieve the ultimate goal in the ultimate team sport. And although we were successful, some of the greatest lessons I learned were in the moments where we faced the most challenging adversities. He set the tone for the organization to never falter in the face of adversity and to do what we could do, and what was in our control, which was to go and, big letters, do our job. I could never have been the player I was without you, Coach Belichick. I am forever grateful, and I wish you the best of luck in whatever you choose next." That was Tom Brady. Very nice. Hit me real quick, and then I'll go to the phones. Why is Washington feeling so attractive to so many people?
It's ownership. When you have Magic, Josh Harris, who we've seen is willing to
the Josh Harris thing's big, yeah.
And also Bob Meyer. I mean, you have guys who have won. They've won big. They've been part of, the.
How big a piece is Bob Meyer going to be moving forward? Bob Meyer was hired to kind of help find a coach, right? He's the
it sounds like
former
he's just
GM
consulting.
of the Warriors. Yeah,
right. I don't think he continues long term. Maybe for a year, maybe two. It's hard to say. I think it's mostly about the search right now, and they'll see where it goes from there.
Right. But I don't hate it. I think, like, to me, the worst job is Carolina. That's open, but and again, that goes to ownership and quarterback. But doesn't so much of it just go to quarterback? That's why everybody. That's why everybody loves that Charger job, right? But yet nobody can freaking win there.
Yeah, it's the quarterback position is the thing that comes up the most, and that's obviously why the Chargers are sort of considered that the most desirable position out of them.
All right, I should give the numbers. I don't know if I give phone numbers today. We're over an hour in. The number is 505-246-0610. That is the Sports Animals phone line, 505-246-0610. You can send a text to that number. You can phone at that number. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. We are on television on Comcast Channel 26. We are on visual on our Facebook page, the OD and the AM, and on the ProView Network's YouTube channel. Adrian's producing there. Marty, you're on the Sports Animal. Good day, sir.
Hey, guys. So some points on some of these changes. I am one that does not think, I've never felt Belichick the greatest coach. He's not an innovator. He's not, I think it's a situation where the quarterback elevated the coach. A lot of times the coach elevates the quarterback. Teams that don't have either just don't succeed, and that's why they're looking for coaches, and there's a lot of those teams in the NFL right now. I'd say 60% of the league is like that. But I just have never felt, and Brady proved it. Brady went on to Tampa. He elevated that franchise one. But I have just never felt Bill Belichick is an innovator. There's nothing that I can go back as a fan and say, that's Bill Belichick. Jimmy Johnson, he knew how to work free agency, right? He knew how to, Tom Landry, the flex defense, a Chuck Noll, I know he won 6 championships, but to me, I just consider him the greatest coach. That's just me. I've had enough sample size over the years, been watching the NFL since 1974, to say, now if you're 30 years old, you're going to think he's the greatest, and that's good. But I just don't see it. And then on the Herbert thing, I don't think he's a great quarterback. And here's why. I'm going to go off facts. Kellen Moore, when he was with Dallas, multiple times, number one offense, right? Dak Prescott. Didn't do anything. Kellen Moore didn't elevate. They just didn't work out. I still think Herbert has a lot to grow. I'm not saying he won't get there, but this notion, he looks the part, 6'5", big guy, but I think he's got low IQ as a quarterback. That's my opinion. I think there's a lot of those guys out there. They look, Trevor Lawrence, low IQ. Looks the part, but he has low IQ. You got to have IQ to be a quarterback, good quarterback, and that's just what I see. And I was also shocked by the Gerard Mayo hire because there's an organization that needs an offensive coach. And to go back to that, I think it's going to be pretty much a lot of the same.
Well, you can have all the offensive coaches you want. If it's Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones are your quarterback, you're not going to be very good, right?
Yeah, but you can get an offensive coach, a la Shanahan, right, that can elevate a Brock Purdy, the Mr. Irrelevant. So those are just my thoughts.
Oh, that's good. No, Marty, appreciate it. Marty called the 505-246-0610. Now, I don't agree with a lot of what he said. I do think Belichick is a really good coach. But to be able to do that, he took and look, we'll never know this. If Brady went to, I don't know, say he went to Marty Schottenheimer and the Chargers back in the day. Say he went and pick someone. Would he have been as good as he was? Would Belichick have been as good with Drew Brees? Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick who played not regularly. I mean, he was not like the all full-time starting quarterback in Michigan and became the greatest quarterback of all time. Does Belichick get no credit for that? Is it all Tom Brady? Do they win without each other? Well, Brady won with Tampa Bay, and Belichick has done nothing since. Belichick made the playoffs right with that 1 year with Mac Jones as a rookie. The year Brady went down, with Matt Castle, they did win 11 games. They were 11-5, didn't get into the playoffs. But at 11-5, there's very few years you don't get into the playoffs. The last few years have been bad. And there's part of me that is going to separate the coach from the GM and Belichick. His rosters were bad the last few years. Jeff, he put together those rosters. You're right. I still think he's a great coach. And it's going to be hard to take away any guy who won that many Super Bowls and did what he did with so many different rosters. Yes, the same quarterback. Who's the best coach in the NBA ever? Is it Red Auerbach? Well, he had Bill Russell and John Havlicek and JoJo White and go up and down the list. Or is it Phil Jackson? Well, he had Michael and Scotty, and he had Shaq and Kobe. I mean, the guy who won 10 times had great players. The guy who didn't. Lenny Wilkens, the all-time winningest coach in the NBA, never had those guys. Won one championship, 1971 in Seattle, right? Who's the greatest manager of all time? I don't know. Was it Sparky Anderson? Well, he had the Big Red Machine. He had Pete Rose and Johnny Bench and Joe Morgan and Dave Concepcion and George Foster, right? Leo DeRocher. Was it Casey? They all had great players. So, if you don't think he's the greatest coach ever, I'm fine with that. I get that. But to say, I still think it's going to be hard for me to argue against it. And I think he is absolutely one of the best ever.
Yeah, 6 rings. I think that says so much because the league changes every year. You have different players. You have all these things. Yes, you have a great quarterback, and we all know that. But you just cannot put it all on Brady.
Well, let me throw one other thing at you. Brady could have gone anywhere he wanted. If Belichick wasn't that great, why didn't Brady at some point just go, I want to go play warm weather. I'm a California guy. I'm going to go to the 49ers. When his contract came up, why did he take less money to stay in that organization and continue to play for that coach?
That's an excellent point.
I think he realized that it was the two of them that had something going on. And that roster continued to flip every year. And Belichick would get rid of a guy maybe a year early, right? But never a year late, but a year early. And Brady, every time his contract came up, he had the opportunity. It's free agency. He could have gone to the Rams, the Chargers, the 49ers, wherever he wanted to go. But he didn't.
The fact that he stayed does say a lot. That's a very interesting point.
I mean, there's something to it. He
and
could
to
have.
take less.
And took less.
I think that's saying a lot about the organization and the coach.
505-246-0610. All right, let's get through these playoffs when we get back. You've got takes already. Cowboys fan, you're in. I can't believe you guys said, I'll tell you what it says when we come back. Hey, the number's growing. International Protective Service has hundreds of homeowners who trust them to install alarms and cameras and keep their eyes on those homes and businesses and respond quickly when alarms go off. They respond with armed, trained security officers. The reality is police aren't coming for hours if they come at all. And in most cases, IPS is there within 7 minutes. You're traveling. You're out of town. You're going to work. You're not home all day. And there's nothing worse than coming home and finding that you've been the victim of a break-in. You notice IPS service officers at local stores, Targets, Walmarts, Nordstrom. IPS is making a major difference for them, and they can help you too. They've helped me for years. They've watched my home for years. Officer Crespin's by every single day. I don't see him personally every day, but I see him on the cameras every day. IPS has a team watching video cameras, monitoring alarms around the clock to secure your home and business. Cameras are known to discourage criminal activity. Look, your home's supposed to be a place of security, and if someone breaks in, it's devastating for that sense of security. Homes protected are far less likely to be homes targeted by the bad guys. Call IPS. Talk to them about protecting what you've worked so hard to build. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com. IPS is passionate about making Albuquerque better and a safer place to live and work.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the Frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction
Safety Company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indy Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow
backpack. She sent me a picture of his backpack from the pit the other day with duct tape on it. So we got to do something about this. Yes, we do. JJ got a new backpack. Now he's off running. He's celebrating. He's out like a kid on the way to the airport with his new backpack. Opening drive, Jeff Sabieta, JJ Buck is not here. DC is. All right. I got a text from, I don't know who it's from. Early, I said, I trust Dallas this week. I do. I trust Dallas this week. Against Green Bay, at home. I do. Text line says, I'm shocked that you guys trust Dallas. I really see them losing because when it's important, that's what the Cowboys do. They might win, but I'm betting money they don't cover the spread. What is the spread? I'll find it for you.
I was going to say, I think it was 4.5, but that might have changed.
It is. Where the hell's my spread here? Like the spread's always right here. Oh, there it is. -7. 7. All right. Yeah, I think they cover. You trust Dallas this week? We got to do a 3-for-all, don't we?
Yes, we do.
I got to hit JJ for a 3-for-all, don't I?
Yeah, definitely.
First
week of the playoffs. Definitely.
I mean, he's the guy who wanted to restart and do this whole 3-for-all thing, right?
He did. He was the one that brought that up.
Yeah. All right. If there is you asked me yesterday, and I don't know that you answered. If there is a road team that's going to go on and win this weekend, so Cleveland's at Houston, Miami's at Kansas City, Pittsburgh at Buffalo, Green Bay at Dallas, the Rams at Detroit, Philadelphia at Tampa Bay. Who's your road? Now, 2 of those road teams are favored. The Eagles are favored by 3 at Tampa Bay, and the Browns are favored by 2 at Houston. Give me a road dog that wins. You got one? Do you think a road dog wins?
I'm saying Packers.
Really?
I am. I see something in Jordan Love over the last few weeks that I think they're going to build on. I think it's the youngest team in the playoffs. And I think they have that young team mentality where it's, they haven't been there before, so they don't, they're just going to go out and give it their all. There's just something to it. And it kind of goes with the storyline because I think if the Cowboys lose, Bill Belichick might be their quarterback on Monday or Tuesday.
Coach, you mean? Or coach? Because I don't think he can play quarterback.
No, they're probably not rolling out a 72-year-old for quarterback, but at coach, yeah.
I just don't see that. I think the Rams can win in Detroit.
Yes, they definitely can.
I don't think they will, but I think they can. I don't know that they got enough defensively in the secondary to stop. Now, if Laporta's not playing, and I think that's a big piece for Detroit. I think that's a big piece. But I mean,
Detroit's secondary, though, gives up everything.
I know.
They gave up almost 800 yards to Nick Mullins.
I agree with you. But what's the over-under? Because the over feels like the bet in that game, right? 51.5?
Yeah, I'd probably take the over, yeah.
I mean, that's 26-24, range right there. That's what that is. All right, all those games are going to be here on the Sports Animal. You're home for the NFL playoffs. You're home for the Super Bowl. But what's really important right now is what's for breakfast. What do you got back there? Which you get?
I'm so excited.
Which do I got? Yeah. Oh, my favorite is that grinder, the Italian grinder.
That's what you were saying. Viola's here. It is which. They are our sweet deal today. You go to our website, sportsanimалabq.com. Right at 9 o'clock, click on the sweet deal icon. And for just $25, you get $50 worth of which. Only 100 deals available. A new menu. How are you? First of all, thank you for breakfast.
Of course. My pleasure.
How are you living? Things good over there?
Things are good. Starting off the new year busy. So we love that.
Well, you grew the menu, right? So
yes.
The menu, like everything else during the pandemic, everything came down.
And I know people are tired of hearing about pandemic, but you guys are finally back up to where you were, right?
It's over. We're back, guys. So we've gone back to our 50 different completely customizable sandwiches. We've doubled our veggies, our sauces, and our flavors.
So double veggies, so everything's like back. If you've been eating Which Wich over the last, I don't know, year, everything's double now. I look at the sandwich, the meat's big.
Yes.
It's delicious. How many spots you got?
We've got 2 spots in town. So we have one on Passaic, Louisiana, and we've got another on Coors and Montano.
Passaic, Louisiana. I know where that is. All right, that's a good spot.
Yeah.
All right. You also have everybody's on resolutions.
Yes, so we do have
I gotta lose some weight. I'm just so fat.
We've got it all, guys. You can get all the protein in with none of the carbs.
Mhm.
We've got our lettuce switches. Skip the bread, get it wrapped in lettuce, or get it in a bowl.
And you got great things like the crab, the pulled pork, the slaw. What is the thank you turkey?
The thank you turkey. So you know what? You can get Thanksgiving all year long at Which
Really?
Wich. So we've got turkey with cranberry sauce and stuffing, and add whatever other good things you like in there. And we've got it all year long.
All right. So what makes there's sandwich places, right? Everybody's got one. You guys are different, and if people haven't been to Which Wich, and the way it's spelled, by the way, is WHICH.
Yep, Which sandwich.
WICH. Get it? Which sandwich. So the second which is like the end of sandwich, and the which is which one do I want? Just so you know, just when you look it up, if there's a website that they can go to.
Yes, whichwich.com. You can order on our website. You can join our rewards club, get points for every dollar you spend, get free sandwiches.
Free is cheap, by the way.
Very.
Free. What's different about your spot? Because it is a different sandwich shop.
Yeah, so our different thing is completely customizing our sandwiches.
Yeah,
you can pick whatever you'd like. So we've got something for everyone, whether you are vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or you love all the meats and cheases.
I'm not gonna lie. The first time I went in there, Viola, I'm like, what do I do now? Right?
Yes.
Because I got to pick my bread and my meat and my cheese and my sauce, but it's what I wanted. I didn't have to say, give me a number 4. Give me that one. Everything. You walk it all the way through.
Exactly. So there's none of that like, oh, take the onions off. Nope, it's up to you to put it on there.
They're already on there. Yeah,
yep, exactly. Whatever you like.
All right, you can keep getting great deals. They've got an app which gets you into the rewards club that gets you free stuff, great deals, all kinds of stuff. It is the Which Wich Rewards Club app that you can download as well.
Yep, the Vibe Club. Get your good vibes on all year long, guys.
All right, they craft each sandwich with a smile. And they thank you on your way out. You're going to love this place. It's 2 locations again, Paseo in Louisiana,
and Coors and Montano. Yes, sir.
And if we will. I mean, do it at 9:00. Like, don't even play on DC back. She didn't have headset on. But which one did you get?
I got the grinder.
He got the grinder. He took your
yes, that's the best one.
Yeah.
I used to go all the time.
Did you hit Which Wich all the time?
All the time. And I gotta say, I'm looking at the menu. The new cheeseburger witch looks amazing.
Cheeseburger witch?
The cheeseburger.
We do still have the cheeseburger. Yes, we do.
All right, go online, hit our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Get on at 9:00. Click on the sweet deal icon. $50 worth of Which Wich, and it only costs you $25, and it's great for your viewing. Who's your football team?
The Raiders.
Why do you laugh? You don't have to laugh. Don't be shit. Look, I'm a Rams fan for years.
I was born and raised Raiders fan.
Are you a Northern California girl or what?
That's just what I was. I was born into a Raiders family.
That's what Daddy said, right?
Yep, that's what they said.
God bless her. That's my little girl, man. She got stuck with the Rams too.
I'm loyal.
All right, Viola, great to see you. It's Which Wich. Don't forget at 9:00. Click on our sweet deal icon at sportsanimalabq.com. And take advantage of this. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl.
Gibson Boulevard has
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom. Boom.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep Rated on ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Your surprisingly great rates,
Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size.
We get Kenny's too. Kenny Thomas will be here coming up at 9 o'clock, the former Lobo great. Boys, there's some hoops to talk about. Not only are we going to talk to him about the Lobo game against San Diego State tomorrow, what color he's going to wear. What are you wearing?
Khakis. I love that.
We'll talk to him about the loss on Tuesday past in Vegas. But there is some NFL or NBA to get into. I mean, for crying out loud, did you see what Oklahoma City did to Portland last night?
Oh, yeah. It was a train wreck that I kept turning back to because I wanted to see if they would double up an NBA team.
They came damn close. So doubling up would have been 144. 77 to 77 is 144.
154.
154. All right, and they had 139. Yeah, you're right.
There were some points, though. I mean, I've just never seen anything like that in the
NBA. A college team got doubled up last night. A good one, a brand name.
Oh, man, UCLA getting doubled up. Wooden is just rolling over right now.
90 to 44. Utah beat UCLA last night. So we'll get into all that with Kenny coming up at 9 o'clock as we kick it with Kenny Thomas. We're going through the NFL stuff and the playoffs this weekend. And well, let me get you a few more things. Now, let's go through this. Cleveland and Houston to start things off. And you can find something fairly fascinating about every one of these things. At some point, does the Joe Flacco thing come back to reality, or do you ride this thing all the way to the AFC Championship game or then, or more, right? Because I got a veteran quarterback who came off the couch, who's playing well, makes a mistake a game, a defense that's really good against a rookie coach, a rookie quarterback, a team that is probably 2 years ahead of schedule. But the team that's 2 years ahead of schedule and probably playing with house money has a home game and just won a division. Which story do you like better to finish this weekend? It's got to be Cleveland, right?
You know, I have a soft spot for Flacco, but what they're doing in Houston is amazing to me.
100%.
I love top-down Nick Caserio. He's always on Rome. He speaks about the game. He knows what he's talking about. And then for him to hire first-time coach into DeMeco Ryans and have this success, I don't know. I just there's something about Houston that's special right now.
So I really liked DeMeco Ryans when he was with the Niners, and I was so glad he got the Texans job because I mean they took him away from the Niners. I mean he was just so good as a defensive coordinator. Met him briefly on when I was in Houston for the Final Four this year. Met him just a dude. Hey, DeMeco. He was with a bunch of Aztec guys up in the where I was. And just briefly, yeah, I'm from Alabama. And I'm like, well, I mean, the Aztecs beat Alabama on the way. It was, one of those things. That's where he played. Another Saban guy, by the way. You want to talk about the Saban tree? He's the Houston Texans, right? Played for him. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know DeMeco Ryan. But you know what? You get it. Well, I mean, first impressions are first impressions, right? You walk away with a feeling, wow, that guy's got his bleep together, right? I kind of got that feeling, wow, that guy's pretty impressive. Just literally in a 2-minute conversation.
That doesn't surprise me.
We didn't hang out. I mean, it's not like he's my boy. That's not what I'm telling you. But just, met him briefly with a bunch of people in a couple minute conversation. He was impressive. But I'm surprised by what happened. This was one of those teams when we started this season who does not have a chance. And this was one of the teams in the AFC. You could make this, before the season started, you were making a case for everybody in the East. Everybody in the North. Jacksonville's going to win the South, but yeah, Tennessee could be good if they get good quarterback play. Let's see what Anthony Richardson is because Indianapolis is good, but yeah, no, Houston's out. And then you were trying to make a case for the Broncos. You guys all were except for me, right?
I wasn't.
Let me be steadfast on the Broncos. This wasn't going to work with Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I said that for 2 years now.
All right, and I called it the whole time too?
Yeah.
All right. But they were the one team in the AFC where you're like, yeah.
You're right about that. We were making a case for everyone that was a throwaway, and we were wrong. I mean, goodness, they're it just shows the NFL. You think you know it until you realize Houston's in the playoffs and you have no idea.
These two guys, the top coaches for Coach of the Year. I mean, you could. There's a bunch of them in there, man. Look, John Harbaugh. should get consideration. He probably won't. Stefanski, the Browns guy, has gotten here with 4 different starting quarterbacks. He probably will win it, right? But and you can look around and you know Shanahan, yeah, but he probably won't because they were supposed to be good. McVay's done a nice job, but he won't win it. McCarthy won't because, well, nobody will ever vote for Mike McCarthy. Dan Campbell might. But these are 2 of the top guys, right? When you start thinking coach of the year, Stefanski and DeMeco Ryder's first year did this.
Yeah, he needs to be in that conversation. I think you're right about Stefanski doing that with 4 quarterbacks is really amazing. I still think McVay has a really strong argument too. Going from 3-6 to the playoffs that's very impressive.
Yeah. Miami, Kansas City. Miami's got no chance, right?
I'm looking at a picture of the stadium right now, covered in snow.
Dude,
it's going to be a tough one for him.
So I guess the coldest they've ever won is 10 degrees. Is that right?
I believe that is correct.
Yeah, because somebody told me yesterday 40. I heard on the radio somewhere, and I'm like, I need to check. It just doesn't feel possible playing in that division. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. When you said that, I was like, you're saying that. I mean, sometimes you hit 40 degrees in September in New York or New England or.
Yeah, the Dolphins are 3-7 all time when the temperature is 23 degrees or colder. Their coldest game ever, it was 10 degrees against Kansas City in 2008, and they actually won that game. The crazy part is, I tell my daughter this all the time, this was avoidable. This could have been avoided. All you had to do was hold on and beat Buffalo the other day, and you'd be playing in warm, sunny, nice South Florida, instead of going and freezing your face off. So, I mean, this is obscene weather, right? This is obscene what we're going into.
Yes.
Did you pull up? What's your go-to? Mine is NOAA, the government site for.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you're going to track, that is a good one.
All right, so here's what they've got for Saturday. I mean, and everything's just in red, dude. It's like in red. Saturday night. What time are they kicking off? What time's the game? Our time.
6 o'clock.
Our time. So that's 7 o'clock Central.
Let me verify that.
All right. So Saturday night in Kansas City. I mean, partly cloudy with a low around -8. So probably at kickoff it'll be about 0, because if it's a low of -8, that's later. Wind chill values between 21 and 28 below. Blustery. Blustery is just a bad word. Blustery just is synonymous for misery. With a west-northwest wind 14 to 20 mile an hour gusts up to 30. Who do you trust, Patrick Mahomes or Tua Tagovailoa? I'm just asking.
You have to ask, and obviously it's Patrick Mahomes.
Well, I mean, like, let's be very, very clear. Kansas City doesn't like this either.
Yeah, they're both playing in it.
You can tell me, well, they're from Miami and they don't like this, and they've never, like, nobody. You don't simulate this. Patrick Mahomes went to Texas Tech. It's not like he played in Lubbock. Okay, so this isn't one of those. Well, I mean, we're from Kansas City. We do this. No, you don't. No, you don't. People in Green Bay, you don't love this. You go out and tolerate it, and you take your shirt off and paint your chest because, look at me. All right, great, good for you. And then you're out of work for the next 3 weeks with pneumonia, right? Nobody likes this. So can we just? Well, I mean, they're from Miami. Okay. This isn't football weather. This isn't. Oh, this is great. No, and I don't know if I should say God bless those people who are going out and watching this 70,000 strong, or they need to be committed.
I have not talked to my dad.
Is he down that way?
He's got the tickets.
Really?
Of course, he doesn't like to be cold, so he can avoid the snow if he chooses.
All right. What are tickets for that? I'm going to find this because I need to, like StubHub or something like that. What are tickets going for? Because here, tickets as low as $53 on StubHub. So upstairs. But if I want to get, let's say, all right, here, section 245, $178.
That's
to go freeze my back off.
No, you'd be in the club in 200 section.
Oh, really? What about 335? $170 upstairs, end zone, freezing.
That
upstairs,
would not be fun.
No, that sounds miserable. Blustery.
Blustery, yes.
Miserable, blustery. How much you got to love your team? And we did this at the end yesterday. It didn't really, it didn't get a lot of traction, but I'll ask you again because we ran out of time yesterday. How much you got to love your team? What's the coldest game you've ever gone to? And how much do you just how big of a game would it have to be for you to sit in wind chill minus 21 to 29 degrees, for you to go out into that and be at the game? And maybe I'm in the wrong market for that, because you can't go out when it's 40 degrees and a little windy. No, honestly, you can't. If there's a threat of rain. So I'm probably in the wrong market to ask that question. I mean, if it isn't 72 and perfect and you don't get a limo ride and a foot rub on the way and a free beer, you're not going to the game. No, I get it. I know where I am. And you're going to the pit tomorrow and you're going to sell out the pit, but that's indoors and it's noon, and I get it. And you just got to make sure you're wearing the right color. But how much do you, what game, because I'm going to tell you flat out, there isn't a situation for me. I've been to enough damn games. There's no situation where I wouldn't sell my ticket. Look, you pick a team, pick a game, pick a situation. I got a ticket. I'm selling it. I'm sitting on my couch. I'm not sitting in 21, 0, what is it, -8 with a wind chill at 21 below? Yeah. None. I'm soft. I'm SoCal soft. Guilty.
It's funny because I went to the coldest Broncos game ever.
Yeah, good for you, man. And I respect it. It's like running, dude. It's like marathon running. I respect it. I just don't want to do it.
And I definitely understand that too, because there's nothing fun about it.
No.
You can talk yourself into it, but you get there and realize that maybe you did not make the right decision.
No. I respect it. I don't want to do it. But what would it take for you? Is there a situation where you would say, yep, I'm in. I'm going to go and sit there for 3.5 hours in -8 degrees and 21 below wind chill because my team is playing, and damn it, I got to be there. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. And AM 610, the Sports Animal, you're home for the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burkia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madmen home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up. Okay. Thank you.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most.
And AM 610, the sports animal.
All right, breaking news this morning, right before we went on the air, Gerard Mayo will be the new head football coach for the New England Patriots. He replaces Bill Belichick, who you might have heard parted ways with the franchise after 24 years yesterday. Gerard Mayo been elevated. He was coach in waiting, and hence they didn't have to go through the whole Rooney Rule, all the NFL process to get that done. All right, so I've asked this question this morning. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta in D.C. What would it take? Look, the temperature, the weather, the situation for the Chiefs-Dolphins game tomorrow is stupid. It's supposed to be low of -8, so it'll be about 0 at kickoff, wind chills 21 to 28 below. I'm out, dude. Fine, you want to call me soft? I'm SoCal, so I don't care. It's kind of, to me, it's like running a marathon. I have no desire to do it. I respect you if you're doing it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. You can tell me how great. No, I'm done. I have no desire to go put my body through that for 26 miles. It's not my thing. Nor am I going to sit out there and just freeze my bag off for 3.5 hours. When I can sit on my couch or somewhere warm. But I've asked you, like you got an experience like that. What game have you gone to? What would it take for you to go do that? Marty, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Marty?
Well, this is Marty with ProView Network. Yeah. I had season tickets for the Bears for a long time, and I went to a game about 5 years ago, the second week in December. I think it was the Vikings and the Bears. It was like 7 degrees, about 7 below zero wind chill factor. And I'll tell you, Jeff, I had 3 layers on. I had everything you could have. By halftime, I had to leave. It was so miserable. Even the beer froze. Even the hot chocolate was freezing. And it was just a terrible experience. And my seats were on the 5-yard line. I'm about 5 rows from the field. You could even hear the guys talking, complaining at Nicole. That was back when Urlacher was still playing for the Bears. And I just tell you, it's the worst experience. I would not, you could not, maybe if you gave me $1 million, I'll show up in Kansas City.
It was the worst experience. See, so you're not glad you did it, are you? You got a good story out of it, Marty. And you got stories, and I know you do because I know you well, but that, I mean, you got a story out of it. Was it worth it?
No. I don't think it was. No. And the only reason I went to the game was, I had 4 seats for a long time, and one of my friends was a big Vikings fan, and he flew in, and we were going to make it a big experience. He couldn't stand it. Of course, people don't realize all those Viking fans have been watching games indoors for 30 years.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
So
Well,
you don't
not
want
that
to be
long,
at Soldier Field on the Lake Michigan front, not even in December, maybe not even November.
Yep. Marty, great story. And it's good to hear from you. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. I mean, yeah, I did it. It sucked. Well, like you just were telling me about the coldest game in Bronco history, DC. And like, it sounds like you're glad you did it because you got the story, but you wouldn't do it again, would you?
No, I don't think I would at this age. I can think more clearly.
So
now.
why'd you do it then? You just love your team, and is it because that's my whole mindset with that? I watch these people and I get it, and God bless them, right? I think I love that they love something so much. They're that passionate about it. I've been to every game, whether it's I'm not breaking my streak, whatever it is. Why'd you go?
Peyton Manning's first appearance at the playoffs as a Bronco. I thought they were going to make a run. I wanted to be part of that.
And Joe Flacco was there, huh?
I heard something about that. I've wiped that from my memory for the most part, but I've heard he was there.
I just don't get it. I'm okay with not getting it, man. There's things I got it. I'm soft. Proudly. I got a couch. I got a blanket. Cozy up to, a special someone if you want.
Fireplace going.
Fireplace. Beers are in the fridge. Or hot chocolate if you like.
Whatever it takes.
All right, we're going to kick it with Kenny when we come back. Big one tomorrow, Lobos and San Diego State. Lots of crazy junk in the NFL to get through, too. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for the NFL playoffs. And say my name, the Super Bowl.
Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquerque. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Evergard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver.
The Sports Animal.
Kicking it with Kenny on a Friday before a sold-out crowd at the Pit. Lobos and Aztecs tomorrow. Jeff Symbieta, D.C., and former Lobo great, long-time NBA star Kenny Thomas is with us. What's happening?
Man, I like the way you introduced me.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It has a nice
you want me to mix it up every time? Or I'll start
No.
It's
just coming from you because you have your radio voice and you're you.
You know, who was I doing it with? I used to do Aggie games with Danny Nee, and he used to love it. I used to call him former all-time Aggie great Danny Nee, and then I was working with Hunter when I filled in for Rob a few times on Lobo games, and like that, I like the way you say that.
Yeah, it just rolls really good. I mean, obviously, when you say Kenny Thomas, sounds way better than anybody else.
That's probably right. That's probably right. I was just talking. Kenny's in DC. I said, "Did you get a sandwich from which?" He's like, "No, man, I was just a Barrelas," but he didn't say Barrelas.
Yeah, I can't say that. Even though Barrelas Coffee House.
Can I tell you a funny story about that?
Yeah, Mike and Jerry, man. I gotta give them a shout out real quick. I just came from there. The food's amazing, and thank you for supporting the post game show.
Yeah, no, that's and you'll be on after the game tomorrow. You don't have to work late night tomorrow night to do that. Back in the day, I don't know if I ever told you this story. When I was at Channel 7, back when you were probably at UNM, I was working with a guy, a photographer named Mitch Martinez.
Okay.
And we went down and we had he told me the story. He says there was a story he had to go down into Barrelas. And so he didn't know where he was. He was new. He was from Oakland.
Yeah.
And so he was driving through, and there was a guy sitting on his porch, and he rolled in. He's in his Channel 7 car, and he rolled down his window. He says, "Excuse me, sir, do you know where Barrelas is?" And the guy says, "What?" And he says, "Do you know where Barrelas is?" He says, "I don't know where Barrelas is, but you're in Barrelas. What's your name?" And he says, "What? My name's Mitch." No, what's your last name, Mitch? He goes, "It's Martinez." He says, "Your name's not Martinez, you're Martinez, and you're in Barrelas." The way he told that story.
That sounds like a homeboy from around the corner.
Doesn't
but this is New Mexico. Everybody talks like that.
I know. All right, we got a big one tomorrow night in University Arena. What color? Do you know what color you got to wear? Are you going to the game? Are you wearing red or white? Or
Man, it's a tough cookie for me because I got the post game show, and me and Brandon used to like to get here to the studio around halftime, and obviously JC Lopez, my guy, and Ryan Berryman, who works for UNM, takes care of me, and Toby Garcia asked me to come sit 4 rows behind the bench, Lobo bench.
Yeah,
I feel bad because I can't leave at halftime.
You have to, because otherwise, with that crowd, you're not going to be able to get here in time.
Exactly, and then you don't really know how long Hunter and
Rob go.
Yeah, because it could be 10 minutes, or
they
it
go
could
longer
be 30
when they
minutes.
win. Just so you know, they go longer when they win, especially at home, because when they win at home, then they bring not only Patino comes out, then they bring a player, and they go longer, and they're happier.
Yeah.
When they lose or when they're on the road, they got to catch a flight.
Oh yeah, that
they
did
gotta
happen.
go to dinner. Yeah, it goes quicker. This is let's look back, man. So another not good second half.
No.
Lobos struggled. They did not shoot the ball. I'm a little concerned about the perimeter defense. We talked about how good they're playing defense, and I said I want to see them play defense against some of the better teams, the more athletic teams, and it's not as good as it was against some of the other teams on the schedule. Yeah. I don't know who the shooter is on this team. I don't know who the 3-point threat is on this team right now.
That's a good question. I feel like Mashburn is a better mid-range shooter, and I would love to be him. I would love to see him get more in his mid-range and trying to get in the paint. I feel like he has been doing that. I feel like him coming back and being a senior, there's going to be a lot of pressing right now, and
especially missing 7 games.
Yeah,
right?
Time's running out in 7 games. You got to get back into a rhythm, and you don't realize this, but playing in this altitude and different things, you got to get into a rhythm. And he's trying to figure it out. But the defense in the second half last game at UNLV was it was really horrible. And it's not about calling out somebody individually, right? Because it's a team effort. It's not about an individual. I feel like when the guards at UNLV were getting into the paint, the Lobo guards didn't have any help. Because I feel like the inside when it comes to the bigs, it's not like Toppin and Nelly are really shot blockers, right? But Toppin is a guy that plays hard.
Bouncy, and I think he can turn into that.
Yeah, he can, but he's a freshman. You would expect more from Nelly.
So I'm Nelly, and Kenny Thomas is here. It's kicking it with Kenny. So I asked JJ the other day, this was Wednesday. I said, Nelly Jr. Joseph is what? And his response was disappointing. Is that fair? Like if I said to you right now, Nelly is what? What is he?
I think he's a big body. I think he needs to play a lot bigger to where you kind of get used to it, right? Like you saw pregame workouts and you see the coaches passing them the ball on one side and coming across and dunking, right? You got to get used to doing that in practice. I don't know if he's doing it in practice or not, but there's a lot of bunnies around the basket that we miss them. Yep. I miss them.
Yeah.
But when you're expected to at least try and attack the basket and you're so big, it just looks bad.
I agree with you on the inside. People have been calling for Sebastian Forsling. I mean, we had a Wednesday show, man. Had more conversation about two dudes who don't play, Sebastian Forsling and Quentin Webb, and that's what happens when you're not winning or to say they're not winning. They're 13-3 for crying out loud.
Yeah.
But they've lost 2 of their first 3, and they lost their 2 road games. Look, my answer to this is, and you get this better than I do. Head coach wants to win. He's going to put out the team that wins, that gives him the best chance to win. He sees Sebastian Forsling every day in practice.
Yeah.
If Sebastian Forsling gave him a better chance to win, I got to believe he'd put that guy on the field.
Yeah. That's why he's the head coach.
Yeah.
And that's why he has a staff to help support him. And he obviously doesn't feel comfortable. We can go back to like Daniel Santiago, right? When he was here. I was so excited, and he's going to play the 5, and next thing you know, Dave Bliss didn't play him. He barely played him.
And you're playing the 5.
And I'm playing the 5 again instead of the 4.
Out of here.
Yep. And then Ben Baum, he should have played, but he's a shooter. He's not really an inside guy.
It was a 6'11" dude who wanted to go on the perimeter.
Exactly. Yeah. And where was the inside presence? The inside presence had to come from me. But it was good because I was already in my element anyway. But me playing on the perimeter was going to get me ready to go to the next level.
I was going to say, what helped you get ready to go to the next level? Did it eventually work out and get you? Because he had you playing the 5, back to the basket. At the next level, you had to take your game outside.
I used to work on my game. Like I told you before on a previous show, I didn't have a left hand, like a left hand hook. So I was in the gym, left hand, left hand, left hand. I was a big man playing in high school, but I used to always dribble because I used to play against guards, like Ron Garcia, his son, Victor Garcia, who was a guard who could shoot. So that kept me on my toes, and it helped me. Even when I was at UNM, I used to play one-on-one with guards because I had to work on my skills outside of just being a post player.
And that's what made you an 11-year guy in the NBA. Victor could shoot, though, huh?
Oh, man, yeah, he could. Yes, he could.
What was the daughter's name? She could play, too.
Oh, Jesus. Monica.
Yeah.
Monica.
Yeah,
Monica Garcia.
Yeah.
I think they're over at Albuquerque High. I'm not sure what they're doing right now, but it was one of... You talk about me scoring in college. I had to get to the NBA and like, hey, Kenny, like we don't need you to score, right? So I had to figure out how to stay on the floor. That's where my rebounding and playing defense and being aggressive and knocking down shots.
You made a living rebounding playing defense.
Yeah, so I did. I really did. I think I shot a pretty high percentage. Knowing you're probably going to look that up too.
I'll figure it out. I
think it was in the 40s, bro.
In the NBA?
Yeah.
All right, I'll find that. Yeah. Kenny Thomas is here. We're kicking it with Kenny. Aztecs are in. Aztecs and Lobos tomorrow. All right. It's sold out. San Diego State went to the national championship game last year. So, different team. Everybody's not there, but the core's there. Jaden Ledee was there last year. Lamont Butler was there last year. Lamont Butler hit the shot in the pit last year to beat the Lobos at the buzzer and break everybody's heart. He hit the big shot in the national semifinal in Houston. they're not going to be intimidated by an atmosphere. They played in San Jose last Tuesday with 4,500 people in that gym. But this is a really, really good team. This is, I feel like we're going to sit here on Saturday night for your show or Saturday afternoon, and Lobo fan is either going to be ecstatic that they knocked off the big dog in the league, or the other side of this is you're 1-3 to start league. This is a gigantic game for UNM.
Yeah, it's huge because you come in with non-conference games, and obviously people see those games are not big-time games, right? So, and then you get into conference, and then you start off conference by losing, and then you end up going 1-2 right now in conference. And UNLV played a great game at home last game, and now you got San Diego State. So the last 3 games have not, the last 2 games you got Wyoming, and then you just went into UNLV, and you kind of got destroyed. But there's still a lot of hope there. They just turned it on too late. But now you got San Diego State, which is a squad that, like you said, that went to the national championship game, right? And obviously, what are kids not gonna want to naturally do? They're gonna want to go where teams are winning. That's why the Dukes and the North Carolina and all those big teams get the big time players. Now, UNM has a chance to have a 13-3 record, but now you have a chance to get on the map.
How can they beat this team? They've got to defend better than they've defended, and they've got to make shots from the outside.
Second chance points. Yeah. You got to limit San Diego to second chance points. They're athletic. UNM can't get caught up in the hype of like, hey, they're 19, they're coming into our place. You can have a tendency to get a little emotional and do too much. I feel like if UNM plays within their scheme, which I think is pick and rolls, in transition, and in half court, instead of going one-on-one, not that they can't, but they're a better team when they're sharing the ball, pick and roll, and dishing.
All right, there's been a lot of talk, and we got this a ton on Wednesday. And again, when you lose a game, Rudy questions it. Can the 3 guards play together? And my answer is yes. Yeah. Well, Den had an off game, dude. Den has been terrific. He had an off game scoring-wise in Vegas.
Yeah.
I got to believe Mashburn finds his shooting, and House, you need him on the floor. So to me, the answer is yes. They're still figuring it out. And I know you're saying, dude, you're 16 games deep, but they hadn't all played together barely at all until league play start. Can the 3 of those guards play together? I
think the 2 guards are the main ones that have to bring the ball up, which is Dent and House. Yeah. Mashburn, I'm not saying that he can't, but that's not his strong suit.
He can play off the ball.
Yeah, and then you have Dent and House that attack the basket. I want to see them find guys more, opposed to being I want them to be aggressive, but I feel like there's a certain time in the play of the game or the flow of the game to where maybe there's Mashburn on the wing, mid-range. Let's get him going. So this is where the point guard awareness of like, hey, I need to get my big guys involved. Let me dump it off, because Dent and House have the ball in their hands the majority of the time.
Yeah. Lastly, and then we'll take a break and go into the NBA stuff. At what point do you press? Right, you're a team that had a lot of expectations and had a lot of non-conference success. You're 1-2. At what point does the pressure turn into a negative?
When you start pressing full court, or you start pressing
like
general?
Internally, like you know, we got to win and feeling the pressure. If you go to 1-3, right? I mean, you're 1-2 now. You'd lost 1 game all year. At what point do you start looking in the mirror and just putting so much pressure on yourself?
Well, I feel like they should already be looking in the mirror, because there was like maybe 2 games that they should have won. Colorado State, that could have went anywhere, but I felt like they turned it on too late, right? And then that other game,
the Vegas game,
that Vegas just was a better team. But once it's crazy, because Vegas's inside presence was dominant, and then the other brother goes outside and he puts on the show behind the perimeter. And the Lobo bigs are not used to guarding the bigs that usually play on the perimeter, except for the Colorado State kid that was doing both. Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. He's a good player. But you need to press anyway, because you're playing at home. You got to come out with energy. Obviously, they're going to do that. Sold out game. It's going to be lit in there. And it's a matter of how they're going to come out and be focused, I think.
You didn't hear this one the other day, DC, but it was the Boone brothers, Caleb and Kalen, right? It was Boone.
Oh, my goodness.
I said, out go the lights.
But it started on the inside, and then next thing you know, in the second half, the outside.
Yeah.
He hit like 3 3. He hit like 2 threes and in back-to-back possessions, and then like maybe 1 or 2 possessions, and he comes back and he shoots them all from the same spot.
Boom, boom. I said, out go the lights. You shot 46.5% field goal percentage in the NBA.
Told you.
You're pretty much right on. Almost 7 rebounds per game in the NBA.
Yep.
Pretty good, man. When we come back, you want to talk some NBA? Boy,
man, I'll talk whatever you want.
Well, I mean, there was some stuff last night, like a team losing by 62.
Oh, yeah.
We had a coach saying, "This is a crap." It sounded like this.
Outrageous.
Outrageous.
It's a complete crap.
That's what it was. Kenny Thomas is here. We're kicking it with Kenny. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
This is completely BS.
Boom. Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom. Boom.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, me and my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
I looked at DC was watching last night. He said he was watching, it was like a car wreck. Oklahoma City beat Portland last night, 139-77.
Yeah.
For those of you who are a little mathematically challenged, that's 62 points. 62 points is obscene. Oklahoma City is tied for first in the West. Hey, you and I have talked about this a little bit. Oklahoma City and Minnesota are tied for first in the West.
Yeah.
How do you get beat by 62? Dude?
Sometimes it just happens. And it can happen at home. It can happen on the road. 62 is a lot. Back when I played, it was more like 30s-ish. But that's a lot.
Yeah.
And
almost got doubled.
And the way that the Thunder's playing, they're making a statement right now.
Yes.
And Minnesota. Who would have ever thought? Like last year you had the Kings at the 3 seed, and now the Kings are like in like 6 or 7 seed right now. You got your Warriors at like 13, even though you're a Laker fan.
Yeah, they're out. They're out. The Lakers are holding on to that last spot. Just UCLA got beat 90-44 last night.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd see a Mick Cronin team get beat 90-44. That's me. You see me running around the sidelines? He looks like me.
No, I didn't. I saw him, but I didn't put the two
People
together.
ask me all the time, what are you doing there? How'd you get back there? When I met him and we looked at each other, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, you guys know Jeff flies on a private jet, right?
That's
Just
right.
like the UNM Lobo men's team.
Yeah,
I never did that. We flew commercial.
That's why my team was underprepared last night. We got beat 90-44. All right, Darko Rajakovic. He is the head coach. Like I said this the other day. If I'd asked you on Monday, Darko Rajakovic, it's this Darko Rajakovic. If I said to you, Kenny, Darko Rajakovic is the number 2 seed at the Australian Open tennis, the goalie for the Calgary Flames, the guy that the New Mexico United just signed, or the head coach of the Toronto Raptors, which would you have done?
All 4.
Yes. He went off on a little rant the other day. His team got beat by a point by the Lakers.
Yeah.
They got out free throw 23-2 in the fourth quarter. He said, "This is a total crap." Is that what he said? How does it sound? This is
It's a complete crap.
That's what it was. What do you think of his rant? And by the way, when it to look at the numbers is it's one perspective. Did he have a point?
Yeah, he does. The NBA, when it comes to officials, I can say this. I won't get fined.
Yeah, you won't anymore.
There's a lot of favoritism. It just is, and it's one of those things. There's a lot of times I would cuss out a referee, but then I would maybe go apologize. But it depends on the situation. And then sometimes they made up calls for me, and then they'd be like, "Kenny, I told you, I got you, right?" And
they know when they miss a call.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And then that's the last thing any individual wants is to be shown up. And then there's people looking. And then what does the referee have to do? They naturally are going to protect themselves, and then they do what they got to do.
They're humans. And I talk about this all the time. It's human nature. I don't know if they consciously give LeBron, or back in the day, Michael or Larry, or pick a superstar, right? I don't know if they consciously give them the calls.
They do.
You think it's conscious or subconscious?
I think it's both.
Okay. All right. So
I really do.
So all right. The LeBron gets calls. LeBron, AD, they go 23 times. You can't name me 3 Toronto Raptors. You couldn't name me the coach if you picked him out of a multiple choice, right? No, you can. But so the Raptors. So he's got a real point here. And so the Raptors playing the Lakers. The Lakers had lost, I think, 7 of their last 10. They were scuffling. There was talk about Darvin Ham. They needed to win that game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Ham, I mean, obviously they're going to bring the coach. And you have these NBA players, especially like a guy like LeBron James, and you're not going to really kill him because he's technically the greatest to ever play because he's number 1 in scoring, right? I totally disagree with that. I think Kobe's the guy because Kobe mastered from Jordan, and then Jordan's the guy, and then you got my guy Magic Johnson. But there's ways of how the game is flowing to where the officials pick and dictate what they want to do, and they're in control of the game. It's just like our politicians. Right. They're in control. Like they create the bills and different things and things that happen, and then you have your superstars that do the same thing.
All right, Kenny Thomas is in. We're kicking in with Kenny just for a few more minutes. Kawhi Leonard's deal, it was almost quiet, so he got extended. And Kawhi, when Kawhi plays, Kawhi is, I don't know, you work with me, as good as anybody in the league, the best defender in the league. He's a winner. But the knock is he hadn't played a lot. So he just got a 3-year extension for $153 million.
You got to pay the man. Popovich came in and groomed him from San Diego State and
made him a scorer, dude. He was offensively challenged in college.
He took the words right out of my mouth, but at the same time, he still played defense.
Yeah. Oh, well, he always played defense.
So that's a Popovich player, type of player. So dealing with Pop, he just kind of gave him the reins, and you had Tim Duncan and all those guys kind of go away. So it's your squad now, and then he goes to Toronto, and he's another guy that kind of
they sent him off because they were pissed. They thought they were sending him to Siberia, and he won a damn championship.
Exactly. That shot in the corner was unreal. The way it hit the front of the rim and then it bounced up and bounced in. I'm like, okay, Kawhi Leonard. But he's making a statement, and the Clippers are doing their thing, man. 3 years, 150 million?
153.
Ooh, Lord, have mercy.
Yeah, throwing an extra $1 million a year.
Man, salary cap is 140 million. You know that, right?
Okay, so he's eating up roughly 51 a year.
And then when I played, salary cap was like 45, 50 million.
Man, how'd you get by?
Oh man, I did good.
I know.
My last year I was making almost 11 million.
That was sarcasm. I don't know if you got that.
Google that.
Hey, you bring up Pop, and do you have a relationship? Do you know Greg Popovich? Because I think there's a direct correlation with him, maybe not relation, but correlation with him and Belichick. And watching what happened with Belichick this week, and watching the guy who's had. It's amazing how good coaches are when they have really good players, and how they're average coaches when they don't. But your thoughts on Pop and
Pop,
how long he goes?
Pop, great guy. My last 6 out of my 11 years, I was in San Antonio training with the Spurs like 2 months before the season started. They opened their arms to me. They have a practice facility that has everything in it. Tim Duncan's from St. Thomas. He loves to swim. I used to swim. I used to do workout trainings in the pool and do laps and run in the pool. And basketball courts, they had full-time security there. I showed up. I got in. I could go at 2 a.m. in the morning if I wanted to shoot shots. I had my personal trainer. That's when Victor was there with me, and then I would work on my guard stuff.
Did he help you shoot?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, my guard stuff, my post-up stuff.
You posted up Victor Garcia, 6'1". No, look at Big Dog.
No. That's just that. That was good. When I was saying the post-up stuff, it was me trying to stay sharp and still know that that's still there. That's my bread and butter.
And Pop let you in and do all that.
Yeah, man. So the Spurs would bring in potential people that they wanted to bring into training camp. I would play with those people, and then the Spurs would keep their group together. If it was Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, Manu, like their whole squad, they played together.
And you played against them.
Yeah, I played against them. So everything, once again, everything went through me because I was playing with the guys they wanted to bring in, and I was already in the NBA.
You miss playing?
I do, but I don't.
Yeah.
I love playing golf like you, man. People keep asking me if I still play, if I still hoop. No, I don't. I do basketball tournaments. Do I pick up a basketball? Yes. Do I miss it and I love the game? Yes. But do I still want to play? No.
Do you miss the camaraderie? Do you miss the competition? Do you miss the prep? What do you miss?
No, it's not even. That's a great question. It's one of those things to where I don't want to be identified as just a basketball player. So that's where I think like when I hung my shoes up, I hung them up.
Yeah, and that's why you're doing so much in the community. Yeah. What's going on, and how do people find you? I know other than you're doing every post-game show, so tomorrow afternoon over on News Radio KKOB after Lobos Aztecs, after the post-game show, Kenny will have the Lobo Live. It's the call-in show. It's back after Lobo basketball. Yeah. You can catch up with Kenny then. What else you got?
You could follow me at Kenny Thomas NBA. I have basketball tournaments going on. My wine is in the pit.
Yeah.
It's KT Legacy Wine. So if you're up there in the suites or where there's a bar in the Letterman's Lounge, go try that. I got 2 reds, I got 2 whites. Total Wine's coming soon. Hopefully Albertson's coming soon. And me and Teresa Tapia. January 27th, we got the fights over there at BKFC at Revel. The 27th, you can still get tickets, and I'll be there. And we have some other fight stuff coming up.
I'm going to be there, too.
Yeah, you are.
All right. I'll see you on Tuesday.
Appreciate you, my guy.
Always appreciate you. Have a great weekend. Call him on, tomorrow after the Lobos Aztecs over on News Radio KKOB.
Thank you. 505-243-3333.
You weren't even looking at anything. You knew it all. It's not on the board. It's not in front
starting
of
to rhyme.
It's Kicking It with Kenny. We'll come back. We got 3 for all, DC. I got JJ's pick. You and I got to pick three games for the weekend. Are we starting fresh, or I guess might as well start fresh.
Man,
like it's like you're pressing me on the 17th hole. I'm up by 2 now. You got it's an auto press.
Double or nothing.
My Texans play tomorrow.
Who you got? They win.
Texans playing at home against Cleveland.
Yeah.
CJ.
I like him a lot too. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 660 Sports Animal.
It's a super wild card weekend.
Listen, not.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown, they pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This is, was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Somebody came up to me at the pit the other day and just said, the rapport you and Kenny have is great. And yeah, I've known Kenny for 27, 28 years, man. And that's how it is. And I think his insight and his candor brings something that's really, really cool. And I know you're enjoying it as well. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and DC, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. And you can email Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. And JJ will be back. We're back on Tuesday. DC, you're over on KKOB on you're on KKOB on Monday, and then we're back on Tuesday.
Correct.
All right. So no opening drive on Monday for the holiday. All right. Some cool stuff in there. I like his perspective on Pop.
Having that exposure to a guy like that, it's just so unique. And hearing him talk about it is great. I have come to really enjoy this segment personally.
I thought that his perspective on, Darko Rajakovic, going off, does he have a point? And he's like, yeah. I mean, stars get the calls all the time.
Can you believe he only got a $25,000 fine?
Is that all it was? I didn't see the number.
25.
Dang.
I thought it'd be 10 times that.
250?
I mean,
I wouldn't have been surprised if it was 250 grand.
For what he said.
Now, do they go on percentages of what your salary is? Or do
That's
you think
a really
there's
good question.
straight up? So, like, if that was Eric Spoelstra just got a gigantic new deal. So if that was Eric Spoelstra, would that have been 250?
I would think they'd take that into consideration at some level. Because, Darko's a newer coach. He's obviously not, his accounts aren't as well padded as Spoelstra at this point. I'm thinking they must take that into account.
Yeah. I think Darko, when he opened his mouth, he knew what he was getting into. Right? I think he had to know what he was saying and what he was doing and what he was getting into. And that he was going to get fined. All right, you want to do a 3-for-all? I have not even looked at any of these games yet.
I've spent a lot of time looking at them. I can make a strong argument for every underdog. This is going to be an interesting one that we'll see where we come out. I actually also put together a little money line parlay that I might actually take a trip down to Isleta.
Are you going to go down?
I'm thinking about it.
All right.
We'll see.
All right. So JJ's first game, he's taking the under, and this is I think my favorite bet, and I'm doing the same thing. The under in Miami KC is 43.5, and he and I are both going under that. It's the first one that stared at me. The weather, I think I know they're two big offenses. I'm going under the 43.5 of Miami KC also.
I mean, when we talk about that weather, it makes perfect sense. So I get that totally. I'm going to take Texans +2. Kenny, I think honestly he hasn't had one wrong yet, and I was leaning towards that direction. But when I look at it, these offenses are about the same. I think they get the home field, the home crowd bump, and I think they win one at home.
All right. I'm going to take my other one. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm going to take the Eagles and lay the 3. I'm going to go Eagles -3 at Tampa Bay.
I understand why you do that. I would not do that. I'm going to. I'm taking the Rams +3. I think they are going to shred the secondary of the Lions, and it's going to be a big day for Puka.
Yeah, and JJ's second one is I got to find it for you. He took Cleveland, so he went the other way with you. He took Cleveland -2 at Houston.
Well, there can't be a tie, so one of us will be right.
That's right. All right, what's your third one?
Okay, I'm going to take Packers +7.
Okay, I don't like that game at all. I just don't like it. I like if I bet it, I think I'd go the other way. But you take the Packers +7 at Dallas. JJ's taking Detroit -3 at Detroit or versus the Rams, and I'm taking the Rams. I'm taking the points. I'm taking the Rams +3 at Detroit.
Just seeing them give up so much to Nick Mullins, you get a guy like Stafford out there with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, he's going to have a field day.
Which quarterback do you trust the most in that game? Which one, not even necessarily who's got a bigger chip on their shoulder, not necessarily who has more to prove, It's a big game. It's a playoff game. Do you trust Matthew Stafford or Jared Goff? And I don't even think it's an easy answer.
Well, you can make an argument both ways. I lean towards Stafford because Goff probably won't have Laporta. And losing a top-of-the-line tight end for the playoffs, it's very difficult to overcome.
So the latest is he's not playing Laporta. The tight end is out with a hyperextended knee. And the latest is he's probably not playing?
It's listed as questionable still, so he's not officially out. We'll see. If he comes back, I mean, he's Iron Man, I guess, but
that's fine.
Yeah, that's...
Dude, I'm looking at the pictures of this Kansas City stadium and the ice and the cold, and it's going to get worse over the next couple of days. I came up with the answer, finally. What would make me, and I asked you earlier, what would make you, there's going to be 70,000 people sitting out there in sub-zero temperatures with a wind chill between 21 and 27 below. What would make you sit out there for 3.5 hours? And I don't love my team that much. I just don't. I'll tell you, I'm not that big of a fan. I'm soft. If I was going, I'd be sitting in a suite somewhere. Like there's just no way. Okay. I'm soft, but what would make you do it? And I guess the only answer is if my kid was playing.
I thought you were about to say if you were getting paid to do it, but you're right. If your kid's there, you're there for sure. If it's their first playoff game, you are there.
If it's his 15th, or if it's their 13th play, I mean, whatever. If I go watch my kid.
If it's his 13th playoff game, you're in the suite.
But I'm going to tell you this. Yeah, fair enough. If she's playing in something like that, I'm doing. I don't know that there's a price that I can't afford that would get me somewhere warm.
I agree with that. That's a really, yeah. If Jack was in any playoffs, I don't care how hot or cold or whatever.
Right. So you're going. I've sat through relatively miserable conditions watching her play or run or do or compete.
I remember my first playoff game. It was pouring rain, and my parents sat through the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Aside from I told you that Drew Bledsoe Apple Cup in '92, Washington State and Pullman, and it was cold, blustery. I mean, that was for me the coldest one I've ever been to. Man, I don't do a lot of that. I'm soft. I'm not gonna. I've been to a lot of games, man. There's nothing that I don't know. What do you remember? Do you remember being miserable? Is that the story? Like I told you earlier, I don't get it, but I respect it. It's to me, it's akin to running a marathon. I don't want to do it. I don't understand it, but I respect you. Howard, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Howard.
Well, hi guys. Let me give you the flip side of the coin. About 10 years ago, my wife and I went to a game in Dallas, and it was in September, and it was 100+ with the humidity, and we got on a shuttle bus to go to the game, which was about a 40-minute drive because of traffic, and the air conditioner broke on the shuttle bus.
Oh, that's a good time. Yeah.
That was a blast, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And add insult to injury, DC, I know you're a Cowboy fan. I was at my lodge having a beer last night, and they were showing the replay of the Green Bay-Dallas game where Dez supposedly did not make the catch.
He did.
Yeah, I saw that.
He did. I just looked at the stat sheet again. He still has not made that catch.
He still has not made that catch. I know, but Jess posted something on Facebook. But we're coming to get you, Jess. You're going down Sunday. You guys take care. Have a great weekend. Enjoy football.
Yeah, later. I'd rather be hot than cold. I mean, that's just me. Now, I don't need to be miserably hot either. Don't get me wrong. And I don't need to be miserably hot, stuffed in a shuttle with a bunch of other stinky people, and the air conditioning goes down. That doesn't sound all that fun to me either.
With the humidity on top.
Yeah,
of the heat.
yeah. I don't do that really well. I'm soft. Now, the more we talk about this, the more soft I realize I am.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I have nothing against air conditioning or central heat.
Climate control.
Yeah, climate control. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful thing.
That's why we pay our bills, right? That's why you get heated seats and cooled seats in your vehicle and heated steering wheel.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Call me soft all you want. I don't really care. All right, 505-246-0610. Keep them coming. What would get you out to one of these games? What would be big enough? Like I said, I'm not a big enough fan of anything to go out and do this. But if you are, I get it. I respect it. Well, maybe I don't get it. I respect it. I'm not going to do it. We'll wrap it up and get ready for the weekend on the opening drive. On 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal, your home for NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl.
This is Boomer Science with
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Whatever below, I mean, whatever. Do your thing. If that's, I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan. I'm going to tell you what's enjoyable. It just doesn't sound fun to me. I'm sure I do stuff that you don't like either, that you don't want to do. All right, we're all good. That's why there's so many, that's why there's so many different flavors.
That is a fact. There are a lot of flavors, and I'm with you. I'm feeling soft too because I'm thinking like, there's no way I go to that. It's a playoff game, but there's no chance.
Why would you? That's my whole thing. I don't get it. Why? Maybe Dan will tell me. Good morning, Dan. You're on the Sports Animal. How are you?
Hey, fellas, how you doing? Hey, listen now. I remember I called up early in the year. We talked about, Mr. April teams and Mr. October teams.
Yeah.
And here are the teams that are going into the playoffs. Now, I'll run this out to everybody out there in sports animal land. And I don't care who you are or what your team is. But what American wouldn't want to see the Cleveland Browns and Detroit Lions duke it out for the Lombardi? I mean, come on, fellas. Here's the opportunity. You talk about bringing America together, I think that game would do it. And I want to talk about Mike McCarthy, because I called Aaron Rodgers a palooka. But, it takes two to tango to be a palooka. And the other palooka is Mike McCarthy, the coach of the Cowboys, because he was the coach of the Green Bay Packers when they were winning double-digit season wins and losing in the playoffs. And what has Mike McCarthy done as the Cowboy head coach? Winning double-digit seasons and losing in the playoffs. Here's another year. And this Sunday, they're playing the Green Bay Packers. They're 18-0 at home. 18-0. As an old associate of mine told me when he was on his deathbed, kid, you can't roll sevens forever. Anyway, I got comments on Belichick, but that'll be next week, guys. You guys have a wonderful playoff weekend, and everybody enjoy and be safe. Thank you, fellas.
Thank you, Dan. You can't roll sevens forever. I mean, yeah.
There's something to that. Hearing him say that, you cannot roll sevens forever. That is a fact, and they play well at home. They don't play well on the road.
I just think they're better than Green Bay. I just that's to me what it is. Now, next week if they have to go to Detroit, if Detroit holds serve, actually Detroit comes to them, Detroit will come in. I thought Detroit should have beat them last time. Detroit thinks they beat them last time. Most of America thinks they beat them last time, right?
Yeah, if they are playing the Lions next week, watch out, because they will have a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah. If the Rams beat them, then they get... It's the other side of that. They might get Philly then, right? If Philly wins and the Rams win and the Cowboys win. So the Rams then would have to go to San Francisco. Philly would go to Dallas. That's how that would play out because they reseed the playoffs there.
Yeah, that would be
something. So you'd have two divisional rivals going at each other.
Wow, that would be a fun weekend.
Who are you more if the Rams win, well, if everything holds serve, Tampa Bay would go to San Francisco and Detroit would go to Dallas. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4. If everything holds serve in the NFC. If Detroit wins, Philly wins, and Dallas wins, then Philly will go to San Francisco. The only way they don't get Philly is if Tampa, who's the last seed? It's Green Bay, so that doesn't matter. So the Rams are the 6. Yeah. So they're getting Detroit or they're getting the Eagles, right? If they win. Because they don't get the Rams. Unless the Rams and No. There's no way they get the Rams. There's no way they get the Rams. Because the Rams would be, if Dallas is still alive, the Rams would be the lowest seed left because Green Bay is the only one lower than them and Dallas would have eliminated. So there's no way the Rams go to Dallas next week.
That sounds correct.
That is correct.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no way the Rams go to Dallas. So they're either going to get, if they win, they're either going to get Philly or Detroit.
Who would you rather play?
Well, you'd rather play Philly.
Yeah.
So what you're hoping is, because if Detroit beats the Rams, you're hoping Philadelphia wins. Because if Philadelphia wins, they go to Dallas, and if Philadelphia doesn't win, then you're going to get probably Detroit. Or Tampa, if Tampa somehow wins.
I guess, wow. It's an interesting scenario. If you're Dallas, you're probably wanting to play Philly still, though.
I mean, who do you want right now? You want Philly or you want the Rams?
I do not want a piece of the Rams at all.
See, you guys are all way higher on the Rams than I am. I think the Rams' fourth quarter is going to catch up, and you can't roll sevens forever.
What I saw when they played the Ravens.
It was good. Look, that was good.
It flipped a switch where I saw a team that seemed to have the ability to be much greater than they had been so far. And that championship background with Stafford, there's something there that I don't know why. I don't have a great reason why, but it's just, they flipped a switch when they took him to overtime, and I said, this is a dangerous team. And they've done nothing to change that so far. So I guess it's 100% field, but I wouldn't want a piece of them.
Okay. Text line, Packers +7 is money in the bank. And it says Darko's assessment is not correct. Almost half of the free throws were in the last minute when they were hacking Lakers to get allowing the Lakers to get extra possessions.
This is completely BS.
There were a lot of, they were extending the game. But to 25-2, 24-2, whatever the number was, 25-2.
Yeah, it was so far lopsided that
it was
no good explanation.
This was a complete crap. Right?
It's a complete crap.
Yeah. Deutsch says Belichick equals flop. Jeff, they are great coaches. Great in quotes. When they have great players, you can see what they are without the horses. It's every single coach ever. Isn't it? I mean, give me the great coach that you think is a great coach that didn't have great players. Who did it without great players? I'm listening. Tell me the great coach that you consider great that did it without great players. There isn't one. John Wooden was a great coach. He had Lou Alcindor and Bill Walton and Gail Goodrich and Keith Erickson and Sidney Wicks and Marcus Johnson. And I mean, go on and on and on. Bobby Knight was a great coach. Yeah, he had Scotty May and Kent Benson, Keith Smart. I mean, all these guys, right?
I cannot think of a single.
You can't, because there isn't one. Because they didn't win without great players.
Well, and I'm thinking beyond like great coaches, just coaches that have won a championship. I cannot think of a single one that doesn't have a guy. You know, you've got to have your guys. It's a team game, of course, but there's always a star involved.
Pick your sport, man. Great players make great coaches. That's how it is. Thanks to Kenny Thomas. He was here. We're off on Monday. So we'll be back on Tuesday. It will be, boy, what a weekend we should have in front of us. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On is here at 4. We're back Tuesday with award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. Great week, you see. Great week. Adrian, great week. JJ's got Lobo Women's Basketball over on the Pit tomorrow afternoon. We'll have playoff football. Be good to each other. Have a great, safe weekend, boys and girls. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will smell you on Tuesday.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Meyer here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like this, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get